about charisma, or charismatic leadership? All right, well, let's go on with chapter 14, which is transformational leadership. Now, some of you are going to have trouble because you're going to say, well, I don't understand the difference between these two. And a lot of people use transformational leadership and charismatic leadership interchangeably, which is somewhat of a problem. But let's go back, and there's something that we did earlier in the semester that may help throw some light on this. Let's go back and talk about another kind of leadership, which is transactional. Early in the semester, and in fact, if you have your books, you can look on page 145. We talked about a different kind of leadership in chapter 6. Remember, chapter 6 was leadership as influence process. Hi, do you need a pen? Okay. Well, then quit talking and listen. Okay. Thank you. You haven't quit talking since you sat down. I know you're excited. I'm so happy to have you here. Now, if you remember, we talked about transactional leadership, right? And let's go back to what that was. Transactional leadership. Thank you very much. Transactional leadership is the kind of give and take relationship that exists between a leader and a follower. The best example of transactional leadership is the leader giving rewards for progress to the followers for meeting or working towards a goal. Similarly, a leader can threaten or impose penalties for failure. Okay? So, transactional deals with the concept of rewards and punishment for goal achievement. So the reason it's called transactional is what? Is because there's a transaction taking place between the leader and the follower, right? The leader is saying, if you do X, Y, and Z, or meet such goal, then I will reward you. Or if you move towards that, I will reward you. Okay? So there's a transaction going on. And remember, this followed upon the concept of the leader-member exchange. Because remember, in the first couple of chapters, what did we do? We looked only at the leader behavior. This chapter, in chapter 6, we started looking at what? We started looking at the influence process. And what was one of the things that influenced leadership was the followers. And so we start talking about the fact that there's actually a transaction going on. Okay? Now that's important to understand that when we start talking about charismatic leadership and transformational leadership. So if I ask you a question, what is the difference between charismatic leadership and transactional leadership, what would you say?